Welcome to the defensive track finale. No new theory today, just rapid fire at the principal tier. I ask the questions you'll hear in a leadership loop for an AI security role, and you give the answer that lands, then the version that quietly sinks people.
Right. At Principal, they're not testing whether you can configure a control. They're testing whether you can build a program, set a standard the org actually follows, and make a risk call under a budget. For each question, I'll give the strong answer, then the weak one that reads as senior IC instead of principal.
First one, how do you build an AI security program from scratch?
I start with an inventory and a threat model, not a tool purchase. Where are models making decisions? What data feeds them? Who can reach them? And what's the blast radius if each is abused? From that, I write a risk ranked roadmap, land a few high leverage wins to earn trust, then build the durable pieces, standards, a review gate, detection. The weak answer is buying an AI security platform first and reverse engineering a program around the dashboard. Tools without a threat model are theater.
How do you set org-wide AI security standards people actually follow?
A standard nobody follows is worse than none because it teaches people to route around security. So I co author with the engineers who will live under it, tier the requirements by system risk instead of one blanket rule, and ship the standard with the tooling that makes the compliant path the easy path. Then I measure adoption, not publication. The weak answer is writing a polished policy doc, mailing it out, and declaring victory. A PDF is not a control.
How do you prioritize AI risks with a limited budget?
Budget forces honesty. I rank risks by likelihood times impact, then spend where each dollar buys down the most exposure, usually the crown jewel data paths and the highest blast radius models. I deliberately accept some lower risks and document that acceptance because pretending to cover everything spreads the budget into a thin film that stops nothing. The weak answer is chasing whatever risk is loudest this week or trying to fix all of them equally and underfunding the one that would actually hurt.
How do you measure AI security posture?
I measure outcomes, not activity. Coverage of high risk systems under the standard, mean time to detect and respond on AI specific incidents, percent of models with a threat model and a review, and how those trend over time. Trends beat snapshots because posture is a direction, not a number. The weak answer is counting activity, vulnerabilities closed or scans run, which goes up while real exposure stays flat. Measure whether the org is getting harder to hurt, not how busy the team is.
How do you get exec buy-in and investment for AI security?
I translate the risk into the language the exec already uses: revenue, regulatory exposure, customer trust, and tie the ask to a decision they're about to make anyway, like shipping an AI feature. I bring options with trade offs, not a single demand, and I'm honest about the residual risk of each. The weak answer is leading with fear and jargon, prompt injection this, jailbreak that, which makes you sound like cost and noise. Execs fund risk reduction they can reason about, not anxiety.
How do you balance security against product velocity?
I treat velocity as a constraint I design for, not an enemy. Most changes are low risk, so they get a fast, lightweight path, automated checks, sensible defaults, no human in the loop. I save the heavyweight review for the genuinely risky launches. That way, security speeds up the common case and only slows the dangerous one. The weak answer is one mandatory deep review for everything, which becomes the bottleneck teams learn to bypass, and bypass security is the least secure state of all.
How do you make the org secure by default, paved roads, instead of policing every team?
Policing every team doesn't scale and breeds resentment, so I invest in paved roads, golden libraries, vetted model serving templates, secrets and guardrails wired in by default, so the easiest way to build is already the secure way. Security moves from a reviewer into the platform itself. I keep review for off road choices only. The weak answer is hiring more reviewers to inspect more teams, which scales linearly with the org and turns security into the Department of No. Defaults scale, gates don't.
How do you stay ahead of a fast-moving threat landscape?
You can't predict the next attack, so I build the capability to absorb new ones, fast detection, the ability to ship a mitigation quickly, and a standing red team that attacks our own AI before someone else does. I invest in resilient architecture and threat informed defense, so a novel technique meets defense in depth, not a single brittle filter. The weak answer is chasing each headline exploit with a one off patch, always reacting, never compounding. Build the muscle, not a wall, against last month's attack.
That's the question set. Pull it together. What's the thread running through every strong principal answer?
Every strong answer did the same things. It built a system instead of doing the work by hand. It earned influence instead of enforcing by fiat. It made an explicit risk call under constraint instead of pretending to cover everything. And it scaled through defaults and platform, not headcount. That's the principal signal. You change how the org builds, so security compounds without you in the loop.
That closes out the defensive track and the offensive one before it. Tie the two together. What's the one thing to carry out of both?
The whole series collapses to one line. Think like an attacker, build like a defender. The offensive track taught you to find where a system breaks under an adversary. The defensive track taught you to build so it doesn't, at org scale, by default. A principle holds both at once. You can't defend what you can attack in your head, and you don't attack to win, you attack to make the defense real. That's the wrap.